Heaven, are you
Yeah.
going? I'll see you there.
Huh?
Meet you there. I said, "What's up?" And I was expecting you to say, "Okay." Um, can you tell me? And you're going to have multiple moments, and then I'm going to flip it around. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me about a moment when a person's kindness made a difference in your life?
Spur of the moment. I have to think about it. Uh, People aren't kind to me. I can't think of anything right now.
So you're saying people aren't kind to you?
Yeah, so I can't think of anything.
Okay. Do you want me to give you another question then? We can save that for another day.
Sure.
Okay.
I can't think of anything.
What has been three? Well, that's not three. Let's not put a number on it. What has been the happiest moments of your life? And this is for your grandkids. So it doesn't have to be your grandkid. I'm just saying the happiest moments of your life. So when you look back at your life, what are the top happiest moments?
I just need time to think about it. Spur of the moment's probably not going to be the best way to do this. Um, uh, One for sure would be when Holly was born and the nurse found her not breathing that night. Uh, Being able to bring her home for Christmas 3 days later is certainly one of them. Um,
What year was that?
74,
Is it one of the happiest moments because you did not expect that she would be home for Christmas?
because I didn't think she was going to live through it. And she did.
Okay.
Um, Golly. Um, I mean, there's lots of moments. I have a hard time dicing one out over another one. I mean, my grandchildren, I'm
You don't need
almost,
to. You don't need to. I'm just. What are the happiest moments? And you can generalize them if you would prefer.
oh, okay, here's a general one. Uh, being around my grandkids, even though I don't have much energy or balance now, but in years past, it was always happy uh, for me when my grandchildren were around.
Why
Um,
why is that?
because the joy they bring, the laughter, watching their personalities bloom, seeing them interact with each other, and things in our home. Um, right now, because I see her more than I do your girls. When Addie walks through that door, I mean, she's just got one speed, and it's full bore ahead, just constantly. And that energy, that makes me happy. I couldn't keep up with her. I'm trying to think. It was maybe not so much happy as it was a surprise when I was called out of a seminary meeting and asked to be the managing director of farms. That was just a total shock. Uh, but it was a happy thing. I'm trying to think of my brothers and sisters. Uh, I don't know. So that's, I just have to think more about that. It's not like I didn't live a happier life, but
Would it help if we change the word to joy?
no, it would help if I had time to think about it before, because right now I just woke up and I'm a little groggy,
Okay. Okay.
not thinking clearly.
Okay. Do you want me to go back to the other one? I would prefer not to mix questions. I want to kind of keep them organized so at least they make sense when we put them up
Well,
there.
I don't know that yours is making any sense to me, but just give me a minute to think. I feel like I'm wasting
There's
time here
there's
trying
no
to think
there's
about
there's
it.
no there's no time wasting, Dad. I'm not going anywhere today. It's a Saturday. I don't have work in case you forgot, but the kids are at a water polo and the other ones are upstairs. So
Okay, I'm trying to think now about the first question. Repeat it. Somebody did something nice for me.
can you tell me about a moment when a person's kindness made a difference in your life?
Golly, yes. My brother David gave me his yellow canary Chevy. Didn't pay him a dime, and it was all mine.
How old were you?
It was after my mission. I took the car to California and it broke down, and we sold it. So that was one, because I didn't have a way to get to California.
Did he have another car, I'm assuming?
He was in the military and was going, I think, over to Germany.
For Vietnam, correct? Or Korean
Yeah,
War?
he was involved. He went over there twice in the Vietnam War. Um, this may sound funny, but it's when we went to Tonga, my early morning seminary class, which were all seniors, and that included, no, it didn't include Gonzalo because he didn't take seven. They did a This Is Your Life, and they had mom and all the kids, and Lori Lucas, our Indian placement student that was living with us, and Gonzalo Narvaez, our foreign exchange student from Colombia. They surprised me. I walked into seminary, and the president of the class just took over and said, "We're not going to have a lesson today. We're just going to spend it honoring Brother Campbell and sharing our love with him." That's what they did.
Where was that at? What high
Orem
school?
High School.
Or the old Orem High School before they tore it down.
Yeah.
So 1977, 76?
It was 1977, and I was told that I would work until the end of the semester, which was in January, to get packed and everything organized with our house. And then they came back and said, "No, we're going to let you go Christmas." So this was the last day of school or two before vacation. Last time I saw my students.
Okay.
But here's one for you. This is a total surprise. I was on the city council, and it was my second 4-year term.
So just
Partway through that term,
so for clarity, Orem City Council from 1998 to 2006?
98, 99 to 2007, 8 years.
8 years, City Council in Orem, Utah. Okay.
And there was a lady on Center Street on the other side of State Street. And she had been trying to get help from the city over an issue. And she was going to the women on the council and to the mayor, and she never got satisfied. And so she called me on the phone and she said, "Mr. Campbell, would you come over to my house? I need to talk to you." So I drove over and I said, "We can fix that problem."
Do you remember what the problem was? Was
I don't.
Was it a personal? Was it land? Was it sound?
I think it had something to do with the city issues.
Okay.
I can't remember. But I do remember that I spent some time working with her and working with the city staff, not so much the council. I think they were embarrassed because I had picked it up and we were moving with it. And we got the problem resolved. And so one night, here I am sitting on the city council dais with all the other council members, and it was public input at the very beginning. And this woman walked in and she had a trophy or an award. And she stood up and she said, "I would like to present this to City Councilman Les Campbell for his willingness to go the extra mile and solve a problem that none of the rest of you were willing to do." And I thought, oh my goodness.
So personally, that was fantastic, but she threw everybody else on the council under the bus. How did that go afterwards?
Oh, it was all right.
Did they know? Did they knew they dropped the ball?
They did.
Okay.
I wasn't the first one to go and solve it. There had been 2 or 3 others, and they just let it drop. And so that was a surprising, happy moment that I was recognized for something that I had done, that the other council members could have done the same thing, but they didn't. That was generally an issue. Les Campbell was willing to do things. And on it, I'm getting off on something else, but other city council members would wait and see how I voted on an issue before they would vote. 2 or 3 of them did that.
So
they were a little bit spineless.
In a city of 100,000, well, maybe not then, 90,000 people.
Yeah, about 92.
You took it upon yourself to solve an issue for one family or one homeowner.
One woman.
One woman.
I think she was a widower. Yeah.
Do you feel like that was part of what you were supposed to do on city council? Do you feel like it was a waste of your time? Do you feel like, would you do it again?
Of course. We're there to serve the citizens. We don't pick and choose. If we can't do it, we tell them we can't do it. And some of the other council members just dropped the ball and didn't tell her anything. I can drive right to her house right now. She's dead now. But anyway, they would more or less, and this is off topic, but they would more or less sit back and see what Les would say about it before they would venture forth. Because they knew darn good and well if they were wrong, I would cut them down. That happened many, many times.
So talking about this, when we talk about the difference it made in your life,
service.
Okay, what I was gonna say, what difference was that? How did that? Did it reassure?
It made me more willing to stick my neck out and go solve a problem without waiting for a committee to form. That was one of my greatest complaints against Mayor Washburn. He wanted everything to be 100%. Every council member had to vote the same way. I didn't feel that way. And there were times when I said, this is not going to make you happy, but I'm going to vote against you in the council because I don't feel that way. And he was always they were always on their tiptoes when it comes to voting things and us expressing our opinions. I mean, but that has nothing to do with happiness.
Right. Okay.
Um,
So flipping that around without, tooting your horn a little, I mean, do you feel like there's things that you have done that have changed other people's lives as far as kindness goes?
kindness.
You being kind.
I think I'm possibly responsible more than any other citizen, past or present, for the bike lanes in our city. That's another issue I went to bat on.
To have bike lanes put in and painted on the streets in the city.
Went back to a conference in New York and actually rode my bike, nearly got killed through New York, looking at their bike lanes and how they operated. But here again, that didn't.
But now, that was 20, 25 years ago. Now you have a city that has 120,000 people, a college in that city that has 32, 34, 35,000 students plus, public transportation, a little bit. I mean, do you feel like that was part of what you were trying to do? Did you envision that, or you just went back to New York?
The truth of the matter is,
They just got home from water polo, so go ahead. I'm going to mute myself, but we can hear you. They're just going to the restroom and everything.
The truth of the matter is, I did not like spending money or seeing the mayor or the city council spending money on these. They have a name for it, freebie trips, which were really nothing but glorified vacations that they would use the city council as an excuse to go. I didn't go on those for years. And finally, the mayor called me in the office, and Jim Reams, the city manager, and said, Les, we want you to go to New York. And I thought, oh no, here it goes. And we want you to attend some seminars out there for, it was 2 or 3 days on bike paths. And we had talked about having bike paths, but nobody knew anything. And I said, okay, I'll go. But I don't like spending the money, city's money, to go back on this. But I did.
So as part of that process, they have dedicated lanes pretty much everywhere throughout the city. It's the 3 feet from the curb that is designated as a bike lane, correct? I mean, except like State Street and some of those other places, correct?
I need my phone. I need my phone.
I don't have your phone. I don't have your phone.
Let's talk on here.
It was in on the table. So
Okay. Anything else?
oh, I'm sure there's a lot, but I just don't. I just can't pull it up. These are things I have to think about.
Okay, I will cut them and chop them off. Just so you're aware, we've got everything posted so far that we've talked about. Megan's been watching some of them.
Our conversations are so chopped up and cut to pieces that how can you make anything out of it?
It's not the point. It's not.
Oh, well, that's